don't have to clap if you don't want to.
It's week one.
Hey, you know what? It's week one. Have a little juice.
When you look this good, you don't have to clap.
I mean, what is this? I'm here dressed like an adult.
Relax, Mr. Joseph A. Bank. We wanted to keep it a little more casual. We wanted to have a little bit more fun. True classic, if anybody out there watching.
If anybody's wondering, key to happiness in life is low expectations. That's what we decided to come up with. We can't do it.
You couldn't have gotten off to a better start. All right, the boys are here. We're delighted to do it. The clock is ticking as we work our way towards kickoff tonight. So we do a week one watch all around the week one games because there are several that will have enormous ramifications, like Sunday night. Taylor, Bills, Ravens. What are you watching
I'm
for?
anxious to see how the Bills defense handles that. Ravens running offense is going to be a big fun time. I cannot wait to see it go down.
Yeah, looks like a matchup that we might remember deep into January. These teams, of course, met in the playoffs a year ago. Lions and Packers in the afternoon spot. Will Compton on Sunday. What are you looking for in this game?
This is about the new Christmas toy, Micah Parsons. What are they going to do with him in certain packages? But all eyes on Micah Parsons. How's he going to perform?
Does he wreck the game? Will he be the difference in this rivalry, in this division? And then, of course, Dan, speaking of divisional matchups, it all begins tonight. It's the Cowboys and the Eagles. What do you have your eye on?
Yeah, I want to see if the Cowboys can take advantage of the unknown. You know, Brian Schottenheimer, the head coach, he hasn't called plays in the league in like 5 years. The Eagles defensively are guessing a little bit. So, like, can the Cowboys come out with tempo, no huddle? We've heard all offseason, more formations, more motions, more shifts, modernizing that offense. The Eagles are guessing of what it's going to look like in some capacity. Can the Cowboys take advantage of it and try to jump on the Eagles defense?
The other thing is that Jerry Jones made a huge point when they traded for Kenny Clark, talking about how this run defense needed to be upgraded. Well, they get a huge test tonight because they're not going to face a team that runs the ball better than the Eagles.
Yes, and more often and with more attention given to it. I'll get to Saquon in a second, but I want to start with this. Taylor Lewan, I'll start with you.
Thank you.
You were having a little conversation on our production meeting yesterday, and the conversation came up. Is there a player in the league who has more pressure on him to play well this season than Dak Prescott? With everything that has happened, with taking his contract into account, when you consider what that defense might not be now without Micah Parsons, they give him the new weapon in George Pickens. Is it on Dak Prescott to lift his team, not just tonight, but throughout this season, unless it's going to be a disaster in Dallas?
I think if you're a Cowboys fan, the answer is yes. Dak Prescott has always been under scrutiny. I'm on the personal belief that if he was wearing any other logo in the NFL, everyone's going to be like, this guy's really great, he's an elite talent, all these things. But because it's the star, he has a target on his back 24/7, and he needs to show it this year because he got paid a lot of money, and he's supposed to stay upright and deliver the ball to George Pickens and then also CeeDee Lamb as well.
And staying upright is the biggest part of this, right? The Cowboys, it's an offensive line in transition against one of the best defensive fronts in the entire league tonight.
Absolutely. And again, you talk about Dak Prescott. Like, for him, he's the highest paid quarterback in the league on a per year basis. You don't have an America's Team documentary just to go out there and put an average product on the field. They go out and get George Pickens to go with CeeDee Lamb. He's got weapons. There's question marks on defense, but again, highest paid player in the league. Jerry Jones is sitting there with 4 first-round draft picks over the next 2 years. I think this is a massive year for Dak Prescott.
Yeah, can they run the football, though? I mean, that's the question. The Cowboys are 2-20 when Dak has to throw the ball 70% of their offensive snaps in those games.
But that's why there is so much pressure on Dak, because we don't know that they can effectively run the football, right?
And I mean, if they can't run the football with 3 first-round picks, then this organization is completely going in a different direction. Now, it's a huge challenge, Philly. You know, I mean, they have a guy that's going to be Defensive Player of the Year candidate in Jalen Carter. Dak has to play big-time football. I think George Pickens is the star of the night for the Cowboys if they hang, though. George Pickens is an elite receiver when it comes to physical talent. There's a reason why they traded him. If I'm Dallas and I talked about their no-huddle offense, that's what I would do. So I would throw 80% of my throws tonight opposite Quinyon Mitchell. The Eagles defensively are replacing Darius Slay. Darius Slay is going to be a potential future Hall of Famer. Adoree Jackson, who should be playing opposite Quinyon Mitchell, good players, played in the NFL for a long time. If I'm Dallas, I'm going to make George Pickens earn his money tonight. We traded you for this type of game. They're going to take away CeeDee Lamb. Great. We think that we have the better player then. Dallas, George Pickens should get 12 targets tonight.
I agree with you.
Cook, Danny-O.
I agree with you on the George Pickens. Some would say generational talent. You lose Zach Martin, he is now gone, and you get Tyler Booker from Alabama. Yeah. He's a guy that, I mean, Dallas has done a great job of drafting and developing the players. But you got 3 Tylers, a Terrence, and a Cooper who need to hold up against that front center of the Eagles. If they don't do that, it doesn't matter how good the wide receivers are. Sure. It doesn't matter how good Dak Prescott is. He's got to stay upright to be able to get it done.
Do they wreck the game tonight? I mean, if you're the Cowboys, like, it's sort of the tale of 2 teams. But if you're the Cowboys, you just went through all of this drama. You just went through all of this, and in the end, you traded away your best player in the last week. So the defense is going to be one thing. I think there's a lot of pressure on the offense. What if you had to give me a rough number? How many points do the Cowboys need to score tonight to win this game?
I think the Cowboys need to score 28 at least.
So someone said that last week, and do you know how many points the Eagles scored in their 2 matchups against the Cowboys last year? 75.
Yeah, I was going to say 40.
So 28 points doesn't get you even close. And one of those games was without Jalen Hurts.
That's bad math.
Yeah, not a
Kenny Pickett started one of those 2 games for the Eagles. They scored 75 points.
Dak Prescott didn't play against the
but he
Eagles
doesn't play
last year.
defense, is what I'm saying.
I understand. But again, the Eagles can get the lead, run the ball, and control the ball and the clock all game long and do whatever they want.
I think if I'm Dallas, I'm trying to score at least 28 tonight. That gives you the best chance. The attention will be paid to this. Okay, so the Eagles' interior offensive line, no more Becton. Becton was a big-time problem.
Big time.
And Landon Dickerson just had knee surgery like yesterday. Okay, so he's coming off of injury a little bit. So can the run defense get better? When it gets to the first 3rd and 7, what does it look like defensively? Because I think that is going to be a telling play because no Micah Parsons. If they're able to somewhat slow down the run, now good luck against Saquon Barkley, but if they're able to do that and it gets to 3rd and 7, and tonight the first 3rd and 7, Jalen's got 4 seconds to throw the football and he finds A.J. Brown across the middle of the field, that Dallas defense is going to look to the sideline and be like, this is why we don't trade one of the best pass rushers in football.
Well, that's a really important point. And I wanted to bring that up. We talked about it in our meeting this morning, Will. The idea that the Cowboys have just been through all of this. Will we know from anything tonight, from body language, from what it looks like, from whether there's confusion or yelling at each other on the sideline, will we know tonight how that locker room reacted to all of the trauma and ultimately to trading away Micah Parsons?
I think so. I think with the Micah Parsons trade, like Micah Parsons was the guy who transcended the Dallas logo. He was somebody who could play Micah Parsons football and kind of act on his own accord at times, going to rushing the passer. But you're going to see, what does the locker room feel like now that Micah Parsons is gone? Are they happy? Are they going to rally around? Who's going to step up in the pass rush? I think the key for Dallas is just winning on first down. You win early. You try to keep them in 3rd and long, 3rd and manageable, and stay away from the tush push. If Dallas can win early with Matt Eberflus as a new DC, I think that's what they can rally around, and I do think you'll see some type of pulse coming out from that Micah Parsons.
I'll also add, Kenny Clark, he's a great leader. He was the Packers for 10 years. He's a guy that's going to help them statistically when it comes to the run game, what the Eagles do a great job with. Micah Parsons being as talented as he is, like you saw it with J.J. Watt in his prime, you saw it with Von Miller when he was with the Broncos, they would have these massive plays where you get multiple TFLs, but they would also wouldn't be gap sound. So then they break one for 30, 40, 60 yards. I think statistically, from a run game perspective, the Dallas Cowboys will probably be a little bit better because they'll be more sound on the defensive side of the ball, but you're always going to miss a generational talent.
I mean, they were at the bottom of the league in most defensive categories, so it can't get much worse.
They were bottom of the league with a lot of the offensive stuff too. That's another part of tonight that I'm very interested to find out. And as great as Vic Fangio is, the Cowboys were bottom 2 in last year when it comes to using motion on offense and using play action offense. Basically all the staples that the great offenses in the league do right now. Is it different? Did it change? And I think that could be a huge advantage for their offense.
Shefty, put a finishing touch on it. What are the storylines as you see it going into this NFL season opener?
Well, Brian Schottenheimer coaching his first game, hasn't called plays in a long time, gets to do it tonight. Yep. Micah Parsons, how this team reacts to him. It's hard to imagine that this defense could be as bad as it was last year. You trade away a transcendent talent, and the defense would be better, but they believe that this could be an upgraded unit with the run defense. And of course, Philadelphia, the emotion that's going to be in that building tonight, the energy, defending a Super Bowl title. They're trying to forget about it and move on, but the fact of the matter is, that whole crowd there is going to be saluting this team that won the Super Bowl. It's going to be emotional, it's going to be lively, and that's going to be one more element that the Cowboys have to fight through tonight.
All right, boys, we feeling good
about this.
Everyone liked it. Everyone liked it.
Hey, not bad.
Started.
First round, not bad.
Yeah, you kind of
so big the button just popped off his shirt.
I almost lost the button. That's exactly